Jennifer, I'm going to take a pause here because I insert these sort of fun nuggets throughout the
Okay.
interview that kind of like they're like punchlines. And
Yeah.
that's that goals can be changed, but values do not, right? And that is if you've taken the time, again, just like you got to put your order into the universe, you have to take the time and be aware around your goals. I mean, I'll just quickly say that we were creating a family mission statement
Mhm.
years ago. And I said to my husband, let's sit down and start with our values. And we ended up just taking like it was 10 hours total, but it was a car ride down to Salt Lake and then the car ride back. It took us the whole 10 hours to get our values completely like honed in.
So
And then
cool.
from there, our mission statement flowed. And we always go back to our values. Like, does that align with our values? Does that align with our values? But it takes work.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to have a punchline around values. And I wanted to ask you, because you have this amazing fitness background, when you're working with your clients to allow them to establish their values, do you use any like somatic experiencing? Kind of walk us through how you do that.
Yeah. So I call it a bullseye. So it's my value system bullseye, and I break it into quadrants. And a really interesting thing that happens is you imagine a bullseye, right? So you imagine four quadrants and then a bullseye. And each quadrant is kind of like this balance of your life. So it's like interpersonal relationships, health, career, leisure, like what makes you really tick, right? These four areas. So what I do with people, and this is a great thing for your audience to do right now, is really just draw a quadrant, create that quadrant, and then draw a big circle, like if it were a bullseye around the center of that, cross. And what you want to do is you want to say, okay, right now, I'm going to put a dot in this quadrant of relationships in my life about how close it is to my bullseye, right? So am I nailing it? Am I nailing my relationship quadrant? Am I right on the bullseye, or I am completely off the mark? Am I like way off? And you make a dot. You do that for the next quadrant, health. You do that for the next quadrant, which is leisure. And the next one, career or purpose, whatever that looks like for you, whatever stage of life you're in. And you connect the dots. You're going to see really clearly where you might need to put more of your attention. And maybe that can be your indicator where, wow, have I identified my goals in that quadrant of my life to create more balance, right? Because I do believe in balance. People say that all the time. I do believe that if you're living truthfully, that's always balance, right? I do believe that when you're living in your values, there's always balance if you're living into them. When you're not, that's when everything kind of falls to pieces. So when you have that bullseye and you can see it, you physically see it and understand, wow, I'm really not connected to my parents the way I want to be, or my siblings, or my intimate partner. And that's probably a place where I need to reevaluate my values and what am I missing? What am I not putting into the universe? What am I not looking at in my own life? And where can I actually incorporate that into my day first? So the place that you're out of balance the most in that quadrant for your values is like, okay, how do I want to start my day? So for me, I noticed that when I was, hustle hard mode, right? Like we have all done, really just trying to just be accepted and prove my worth. I realized that I lost that connection, that femininity, that deep, intimate bond with my husband. It's not easy to say, but I did. Instead, I traded it for the approval-seeking culture that tells us we need to just go, go, go. And so when I evaluated my bullseye, I said, what do I need to do first in order to make sure that's nurtured? Because that's important to me. So instead of getting up in the morning and going for a 5-mile run, now I get up in the morning, I bring my husband coffee in bed when he's home, and we sit and we talk about life and connect. With coffee in bed, it's just an intimate little time we have together. But I start my day in my values instead of in my seeking, right? Or proving, or I have to look a certain way or be fit enough or strong enough, whatever was going on in my mind. And so when I work with my clients, I have them do the bullseye and then identify the one that they need to work on. And that's how you start your value system schedule. You start with that thing. And when you start your day with that thing, right? The thing that you need the most, that's going to fill you up and balance you the most and bring you back to where you're more centered in that bullseye. You're not in anxiety because you're not thinking, oh, guilt from not spending time with my kids or guilt from not spending time with my husband. No, I did that. I created that. And that's what's most important to me. And then you go on and move through your day. So I do believe in balance, and I do believe that we can have it. We get to have everything we want, just not all at the same time, maybe, but we do get to have everything we want. So in the morning, yeah, I can't run every day, but I could probably run every other day. And I can probably not have coffee with my husband every day, but I can probably have it every other day. And that balances my quadrants out. And I think that's a really good method and tool for my toolbox to allow people to use and do immediately if you can.